Hey everybody, video here for you today. Now I found this story a couple days ago when I did my story on that mysterious China pyramid and the graves that were found there. Wasn't even sure I was going to report on this, but I think I'm going to. It's what happened. It's history. I know we are all sensitive to what we see today, but hope everybody's doing good. And let me just say this, I'm encouraged by the ingenuity of people stepping up to help. But today we're going to go down to China here. This is called Inner Mongolia, and it's in northeast China up here, but this is where discovery was made. Rather gruesome discovery, and it dates back about 5,000 years, and I believe it's somewhere right in this area, right down here. This is archaeology.org, and I will leave the link below. Prehistoric mass grave excavated in China. Here is a look at what they found here in one house. At the 5,000-year-old settlement site of Hamin Mangha in northeast China, archaeologists have excavated the remains of 97 people whose bodies had been placed in a small dwelling before it burned, according to a report in Live Science. An epidemic or some sort of disaster that prevented the survivors from completing proper burials has been blamed for the deaths. Here's a look at the excavation work that went on here about 5 years ago. A 5,000-year-old settlement was unearthed, individual dwellings. And I know I made a video about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I can't remember the subject matter or what that video exactly was on, but I remember stating perfectly that all the dwellings, the doorways face the same position. Here, it looks like the entrance all face the same position. I just can't remember what video that was. Maybe somebody will remember. Ancient Origins covered this story here, July 27, 2015. Prehistoric disaster, nearly 100 bodies found stacked in an ancient house in China. But a pretty horrific sight. These bodies were kind of all fused together. Seems they were burned at once and probably with a specific purpose. It says the researchers compared the Hamin Mangha site with a couple other sites in northeast China related by the possible outbreak of an acute infection disease or pestilence. An epidemic probably broke out here. They probably had a mass burial and burned them. And then they say there's evidence that people just fled this city then. But I just thought this was pretty interesting. 5,000 years ago in China, an ancient settlement. Seems that something happened pretty quickly that killed a lot of people, and they felt the need to put them in one house and burn all the bodies. So it's pretty evident, or it's pretty likely why that happened. People have been dealing with certain issues for as long as people have been on the earth, probably. I just found this to be an interesting story. But as I said, I'm pretty encouraged by what I see out there, the ingenuity of people stepping up, helping out, being productive in this time of need. Hope you thought that was interesting. You all have a very safe day.